You want to be a source. Let's go talk. I gesture for you to join me as I get up and walk outside.
Yeah, I'm a believer, obviously. I love Mothman fantasize. Never mind.
Who doesn't? As we stomp outside.
Rolling a Dooberoni. Because it's after 1995. Weed was decriminalized in Oregon.
I walk you outside, and I just happen to have parked around the corner, so unless you're bringing me to a specific spot, I'll gesture you towards my beat-up 1981 Plymouth Reliant. It's a 14-year-old car at this point. I've got a tape recorder in the car so I can take your testimony, and a gesture for you to enter the passenger seat.
Perfect. Can I smoke in your car?
Oh, yeah. It is pretty clear in the back I'm living out of this car, but up front there's definitely an ashtray that is in use.
Perfect. Rolling up a Dooberoni. Because trust me, you're gonna want to maybe drag on this a couple of times. Can I, when I'm rolling a doobie, energize it with just some life magic? It's designed to make you feel good. It's, I always have the best weed you've ever smoked type of thing.
Yeah. Are you doing vulgar magic in my car?
Never.
I don't say that out loud. I'm sorry, I should specify.
Maybe it's not actually in the act of rolling that it's the thing. I have a container that I store it in, that I have a moisture packet and a little special sprinkle dust that I sprinkle on the weed.
This is something that you've got on you generally. It's just a bit of magic that it's coincidental. Nobody's going to have their mind blown by better than average weed. It's something that you cook up and put into containers for everyday use, either back at the OMSI lab or back at home.
If I had one!
Yeah, you're running low. This is actually part of the reason why you need to go back to your dorm.
Yeah, the underwear is wrapped around the case because the underwear can trap the smell in there because it's got the antidote. That shit is dank smelling as an unfortunate side effect of the magic. Then I stick that in the bottom of the sock drawer and it works fine. It just keeps the smell in there. Which is also why the boxers are important, because sometimes when you're researching for days on end, especially during the summer, it's humid here. I have a pretty good nose. Oh, yeah, introductions. I'm Oliver. I was, until recently, a nuclear physics student at Reed with a minor in nuclear chemistry. And then, I guess something happened because I'm not allowed in the dorm anymore. I was getting over science anyways. Science I could study at the school. I found my own path of independent research that has yielded very impressive, some would say, lethal results. But they're repeatable. And repeatable results is the basis of all science. I don't know what it is I'm doing, but there's a process that works for me.
Betsy's face goes from confusion to almost sudden understanding and goes, "You're the enlightened scientist who needs escorting. I understand. I've heard of what's happened at the college, yeah?"
You have heard, of course, that Reed College is shut down, but you haven't heard anything as to why. There is whispers of either a toxic leak or some sort of radioactive breach in containment, but from what it sounds like, it's pretty small because it's not on the news or anything. So it's either being handled by another department or it's not that bad.
I take it we're taking you to the college, then.
Yeah, I was told that if I could lead the way that you could probably help me get into my dorm.
Most certainly. Do you mind driving? I need to work on some paperwork in the back. I get out of the driver's seat and then go into the back seat, where I do have a computer set up.
Nice.
It's a very 90s computer. It doesn't look new. This isn't one of those Macintoshes with the bright blue see-through case. This thing is aged beige. Lots of light has been seen.
I'll look back there and be like, oh, what kind of power setup you got back there for that?
I pick up a car battery with some electronics kind of crudely attached to it.
Betsy, you realize you were supposed to have a partner?
That's a good point. They never showed up.
Your associate is supposed to be here. They are known for being late.
That's true. Before we drive off, I say, don't pull off it just yet. We're waiting for my associate, a private investigator.
Oh, yeah, no problem. You will find that Ollie is more than happy to put the car back in park and hyper-focus ramble at you about their theorems. Only when the windows are rolled up, though, because they'll tell you that their thesis that they're recovering is all about this. You know how cutthroat the scientific community can be, I'm sure.
Does this sound like traditionalist magic to me?
Oliver, explain as best you can your practice to Betsy.
The universe is malleable. I don't want to tell Betsy that we definitely live in a story, but I'm going to use the term simulation in place of that, as I think that would probably go over better. So it's somewhat simulation theory, and that I've more or less found the cheat code. This cheat code, when applied to the scientific method, allows me to produce unexpected, miraculous, but nonetheless repeatable, if only repeatable by me, results. So far, I've been able to do things such as speeding up and slowing my metabolism. I've only discovered the full efficacy of it in the past couple months, but through creative bargaining, through intense chemical reactions, I've been able to change the properties of elements. Small chemical reaction like changing water into mercury. The ability to just shift and move atoms around in ways that they really shouldn't. I've found a way to reach absolute zero, slowing something completely to a halt, producing a surprising reaction, going below absolute zero as well, which produced a very surprising reaction of being able to rewind the motion of the cells. Are you familiar with antimatter?
Can I be familiar with antimatter?
You've listened to enough people ramble about their special interests. You have a vague idea of what antimatter is.
Okay. Good to know. Yeah, this sounds like enlightened science. I'm not too suspicious. I keep listening. While I'm listening, may I make some sort of check to make my fake certificate as somebody who should still be on campus? I'm trying to think of who, though. Maybe student press? I've got a good picture of me.
Are you adjusting it in any way?
I don't think I need to do any adjustment of the photos. Could I use mental impulse and then imprint that mental impulse into the
Yeah.
I can project single words or emotional impulses into other people. The simpler the emotional content, the easier it is to send or read.
I would say relief.
Really?
Somebody sees your badge and they're relieved that you're here?
That's a good point. That makes sense. I would like to attempt some discreet magic on this ID card I'm making. The way I'm going to describe it is that in my editing software I have Enlightened filters I can put on things. What I believe I'm doing is just adding a discrete pattern to the backing of the image that makes people feel relieved when they're looking at it.
It's a subliminal image kind of thing. You, at this point, could print it out, and it'd have a chance of imprinting the emotion, especially on the weaker-willed. You can continue to work on it to increase its likelihood of succeeding, or to increase its potency, or to increase its duration.
What's its current duration?
Its current duration is immediate. The relief will flash and then fade.
Trying to think how in character to improve it. Could I increase the potency by making identical IDs for my allies? Make the same thing but with pictures of them and their stuff. Is that a way I could work on it? I can't brain blast into the paper I'm holding. That's not how I see my science.
You're getting a newsletter prepped that has all of you in it.
Oh, that's such a good point. Put us on the editorial board.
Yeah, so it's now turning into just a little stack of papers that you can flash with your ID up front of it.
Yes. I put in Oliver's information as our chief science correspondent. I'm putting my good friend Joe Jacob Jingleheimer as whatever term sounds best. I'm educated in character in this, but not out of character, like the head reporter. I'll make it sound more official than the words head reporter.
It's got probably about a 75% chance of working on an individual at this point, so long as they're of average will.
If we come across anybody guarding a basement with stronger will than that, it'll probably be another technocrat I can just talk to.
Can I use this lulling time opportunity to my Ritalin, but also chase it with my life mutagen to confuse myself with a little bit of extra charisma? Use that part of my brain that will help me focus and be more attentive and better in conversation.
Yeah, and it'll also provide a focus for future life things. One of your tools can be, I've got the mutagen in my system.
Hell yeah, and the Ritalin is also one of my tools. I use it to brain blast me a little. We had talked about forces potentially making a lot of sense for me to study.
Prime makes more sense,
yeah.
Yes.
With its adjacentness, like the theory that like nuclear energy could be like very closely linked to magic.
And could be a way to signal the author. Yes. Yes. Betsy, what voicemail did you leave for John?
My good friend the detective?
Yes.
John Jacob Jingleheimer isn't initiated yet.
He isn't. He has not been processed by the Technocracy.
How physically adept are you? What are your body stats? Are those good?
No, I am a dumpy man.
I will leave you a message saying, meet me at the coffee shop at the corner of X and Y. I think I will have a job for you. I think I'll leave it at that. I think I'll have a job for you.
Okay. That's interesting.
I had an idea for John. Because you're running with the idea that he doesn't believe in magic and doesn't believe that he can do anything, I wonder if you would like to play sort of two parts.
Okay.
There is John, and there is what happens to John.
Okay.
If you want something to happen to John, you can say that it happens to John. Within reason.
Within reason of the sheet.
Within reason of the sheet, stuff can happen to John.
Okay.
And you play John having things happen to him.
Okay.
Whereas most people are sleepers and contribute to consensus reality and don't actively change it, there are some people who are awake and actively change reality based on their beliefs. You have somehow got caught in the middle.
Okay.
You are half awake. Your subconscious alters reality around you
Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, no, I love this. That actually feels like something.
Your avatar, the personification of your soul, the thing that tells you you're a mage and this is how you become the better mage, has been shouting at you. But you call him a crazed conspiracy theorist on a walkie-talkie, and you do not believe him.
Yep. Okay, yeah. Oh, that's great. Yeah, because I've got fucking 3 dots in Avatar.
While you may not even have wanted to take the job, you did suddenly find yourself out of money.
Yeah. I need to stop gambling. I knew I couldn't this month. I still did it. It's my own goddamn fault.
You arrive, despite your best efforts, at a beat-up 1980-something Plymouth.
Not a bad car.
You know it as Betsy Sinclair's car. She gets you jobs for every now and then. They pay extremely well, but they require the utmost discretion. As you're a PI, this is the job. As a middleman for your clients, Betsy often gets you these gigs. You know her as a conspiracy theorist obsessed with Mothman.
What?
They are smoking weed.
Jesus
Together.
Christ.
The
In public?
Yes.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. I'm walking up to the car.
You tap on the window.
Oh yeah, I've got my one thumb in my belt loop. The other one's tapping on the window.
This man taps on the window as you have just finished smoking a blunt.
What you doing in there?
I will crank the window down and say, "Hi, officer. I've got a job for you."
Smoke rolling out of the window.
God, smells like college in there. Just don't drive.
Coincidence. We're going to the college. I'd like to hand him his ID. Here's your papers, head reporter of Reed College newspaper.
I will take the papers and study them, make myself familiar with who I'm supposed to be.
On this, it has you as a staff member who basically oversees the journalism club.
Okay.
We need to escort this enterprising young scientist to the college to recover paperwork from the zone.
Alrighty then. And you are a young one?
You can call me Ollie.
Nice to meet ya. Seems like you got a little bit of your head up your ass, but you look like a decent kid. Why are we... Fuck it, I'm not asking questions. And I will get in the car.
Oliver and say, "That's why I hired him."
John does not give a
I
shit.
won't hold it against him.
I'm going to guess that you get in the driver's seat.
Yes, I'm going to make Betsy get out.
I was actually sitting in the driver's seat.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Keys in the ignition.
Well, the radio had to be on.
Are they parked on a hill?
It's Portland. Most of this is a hill of some kind.
You put that in neutral and you're fucked. What are you gonna do? You're fucked. Do you know how to drive?
Yeah. I'm 24 years old.
Oh,
You know, what kind of adult wouldn't know how to drive?
God. Is that what 24 looks
away
like?
From having a master's degree in nuclear physics and a minor in nuclear chemistry.
Well,
No
hell.
fucking drive.
I respect you, Mr. Scientist, sir, but you're not driving right now.
Very thin slits. That decision without getting out of the car and climbing precariously over the middle, just wobbly.
You like crab walk back over the console.
Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, getting in. Which side of the college are we going?
When you get there, you realize it's going to be a little bit harder than just parking in the parking lot and walking up to the dorm. The entire place is cordoned off with yellow tape.